Hey folks, Leva here once again. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Superman 2, the original version, and now, today, I am going to review Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. Yes, the Richard Donner cut. Yep. You got some special features here, like endorsement by director Richard Donner, commentary by Richard Donner, and critic's own Tom Maintenance. Donner, who directed Superman the movie, and Tom Maintenance, who was uncredited but wrote the script. He wrote the script for Superman the movie. And new features about restoring the vision, how they created Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, and deleted scenes from the movie. I think there was like 5 or 6 deleted scenes from the film here, but here, in the DVD. Now, I know I'm probably going to be pissing people off in this video. I don't hate this version, but I'm not the biggest fan of Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, folks. I thought this was okay. At best, I think this is an okay movie. And I know I'm probably the only person in the world right now to say this, that I prefer Superman 2, the original version, over this. I prefer this. This is just me, though. I'll explain why, but I'm not getting into it. Just like I said, folks, if y'all remember the upcoming video channel update I did explain already that I would be sharing my opinion honestly, so don't take this personal. Remember, this is my video, my channel, my opinion, so don't take this personal. If you like this better, if you love this cut, then that's fine. You know, I have nothing against you for it. You know, it's fine. To each his own. We can agree to disagree. Everybody has a difference of opinion. And I'm not afraid to give mine. I'm not holding back in this video. I'm going to be completely honest. There is no script, no writing on the walls, or anything. This is just me talking to my camera, passion for movies, and being honest about how I feel about a movie. Yeah. The reason I prefer the original version is because I grew up more with this. Grew up more watching this. I watch this a lot more, and I've always enjoyed it. I always thought it was entertaining. Superman 2 to me is a great sequel. Now I understand why people want the Richard Donner cut. I love Superman the movie. Okay, folks, I love that film. That's probably the best, in my opinion. It is the best superhero movie of all time. I love that film. I love it. It's a classic. So, and I can understand why fans wanted the Richard Donner cut. I can understand that. But me, I'm somebody who was not really into director's cuts very much. I'm just somebody who prefers the way the movie is. I'm fine with the way Superman 2 is. I didn't need a Richard Donner cut. I didn't need it. I know fans wanted it, and I understand that. I understand. But me, I'm just fine without it. That's just the kind of person I am. But anyway, let's get to it. So, and this cut did come out in 2006, same year Superman Returns. So, you know, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, had been laying around for years. You know, ever since. One of the history behind it, of course, is that in 1977, director Richard Donner said about when they were filming 2 parts of adaptations of Superman comic series, where they were filming Superman the movie and Superman 2 to back. Now, they've done it with other films like Back to the Future, Part 2 and 3. They've done it with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I think. I've heard that about it. And many movies have given directors and cuts and producers and editors cut and all that stuff. You know, many movies have director's cuts. Prison photography began on March 28, 1977 at Pinewood Studios for the Krypton scenes, but by May 1977, production had run 2 weeks behind schedule. It was reported that Donner had developed tensions, like I said, with his local guys at Perry Spencer, concerning the escalated production budget and production schedule. Donner responded by claiming he was never given a budget. However, Donner told Starlog in March 1979, "I got along with Self-Tons alright, but I didn't get on Perry Spencer. I told him to his face that the film was a bit big for me, but he wouldn't face up to the responsibility. It had nothing to do with the film itself. It was the making of the film, the knowledge to put it off." In July 1977, Richard Lester, who worked on the Scientons and 3 Musketeers, and the 4 Musketeers, was brought in temporary co-producer to mediate the relationship between Donner and the Self-Tons, who were no longer on speaking terms. During production, Lester enlisted to be a second-unit director, but he formed an even partnership with Donner, so I guess they were friends too. But by October 1977, Gene Hackman and Ebony Perry had completed their scenes as they were all under contract to finish both pictures. Nevertheless, with months left of filming, the Self-Tons had hoped of filming Superman 2 and focus on finishing Superman. but which Donner had already finished 75% of Superman 2. So, there is also scenes, like I said, with Gene Hackman and the ones Warner Bros. That there are scenes in this movie I do like that were filmed by Donner, and I think the Lex Luthor being at the White House, that was also filmed by Donner. So 75% of this movie was filmed by Donner. It's just the rest of filling everything else was by Richard Lester when he came on board to direct. After he got fired, the Soviets fired him. The Soviets did want Guy Hamilton to take over, but since Lester was filming Cuba at the time, however, Hamilton was unavailable, but by the time Superman 2 was ready to begin filming, Lester had completed Cuba and was available to direct. Eventually, on March 15, 1979, Soviets decided to replace Donner with Richard Lester. Donner recalled one day, I got a telephone saying that my services no longer needed, and my friend Richard Lester take over. To this day, I have not heard from them. The song kind of deep down said, I would do the second movie on terms without Perry. That he wouldn't do it without Perry saying, but they didn't agree to it, so they fired Donner for it. Which I can understand. I'm mad about that too. Donner got screwed over. I think this is all because of the Soul Guys wanting to make extra money and Perry Spangler. They just wanted to make extra money. And I think they just didn't, back then, I just don't think they knew what they were doing, to be honest. I mean, because the producers wanted to make money. If they would have been patient for Superman the movie to come out, who knows, Superman 2 could have been a completely different movie all the way Donner wanted it. If he would have got to film it, Because Superman 2, some of it to me is just incomplete. Some of it is screen test in this film, and you can tell, and it's a bit off, and some dubbing voices and stuff in the movie, When Lester placed as director, he was not sympathetic to Donner's filmmaking style, commenting, I think that Donner was facing a kind of grandiose myth. There was a kind of David Lynch attempt at several scenes in a lower scale. There was a type of epic quality which isn't my nature. So my work really didn't embrace that. That's not me. That's his vision of it. I'm more quirkier and play around with slightly more unexpected silliness. Since Jeffrey Osborne had died before the release, Lester brought the cinematographer Robert Banner to have the film evoke the gorgeous color theme of the comics. Tom Magnus was approached by Terry Semel, then a Warner Brothers vice president, to return for a sequel, but he declined. Out of loyalty to Donner, he recounted, I have a lot of respect for him, referring to Richard Lester. Friendship was more important than anything, and Dick brought me on the picture. Loyalty was with Dick, and I couldn't believe that they fired him. David and Leslie Newman were then brought back in to do it. And just like Christopher Reeve was doing Somewhere in Time, I think I've heard some of this over before. Donner Fridge. Various shows of Kryptonian villains on trial. Brendan had been manned out. Scenes from Superman the movie during the open credits had double shots replacing Branda. Lex Luthor and Otis doing laundry in prison. The three Superman villains landing on the moon and kill the astronauts. Luthor escapes prison. Luthor and Tessmacher in a hot air balloon. Luthor and Tessmacher in the Fortress of Solitude. Three supervillains attack the White House. A powerless clone is beaten up by Rocky. Oh, Donner appears in the extra in the sequence? I didn't know that. The villains burst into the Daily Planet and chase after Superman. Oh, okay. I know people complain about the comedy in Superman 2, which I'm fine with it. Yeah, some of it's a bit too silly, but I like the original version, the comedy in that. Discussions about Lost Donner raged for years, and the internet, numerous letter writing, and other campaigns were designed to persuade Warner Brothers to allow Richard Donner to do it, and of course they did. And I understand the fans wanted it. They loved Superman the movie, and I don't blame them. I love Superman the movie too. I love Richard Donner too for creating Superman. So, I understand why. Yeah. But of course the cast is pretty much the same. Like Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve, Marlon Brando is in the Donner cut. Jackie Cooper, Sarah Douglas, Morgan King, Jack O'Halloran, Fairleigh Brenny, Clifton James, E.J. Marshall, Mark McLaren, and Terrence Stamp. The music is by John Williams. Cinematography by Jeffrey Osborne. It's edited by Stuart Baird, but mostly Michael Dow does a lot of editing for Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. And it was released November 28, 2006 on DVD here. And the budget was $50.4 million. Superman 2 plus 2006 registration. So, cost a bit of money just to get it done right. The Donner version serves as an alternative version of the movie. And I did listen to some of the commentary by Richard. I did listen last night. I listened to the commentary by Richard Donner and Tom Maness for what they were saying about it. But pretty much the plot, you can say, is the same. Is that Kryptonian villain General Zod and his henchmen are instantly free from their outer space imprisonment and threaten Earth with destruction, just as Superman decides to renounce his superpowers for his new love, Lois Lane. The alternative version of the film is based on footage shot by director Richard Donner before being placed on the project, and it includes material not seen in the film's original 1980 release. Yeah, no, I still call that film 1981, but this, for me, I still say this film came out in 1981 because, well, it did come out in the U.S. in 1981, so, you know, it counts for that. Sorry, this film. Alright, let's talk about the Richard Donner cut. And then I'll give my final opinion and, you know, have a bit of a discussion here in the video about it. So, and I will be using, and I'm keeping the original version DVD over here as well, because I believe, you know, it needs to be talked about, you know, both should be talked about together, so, you know. But the film opens, again, highlights from the first movie with Jor-El condemning General Zod, Ursa and Nunn, condemning them to the Phantom Zone, again punishing them, and Zod yelling at him again. You know the scene from Superman the movie, I already mentioned this before, but him yelling and being like, "You will bow down before me, Jor-El, one day, you and your ass, if it takes eternity, Jor-El, you know, eternity to bow down before me." And then, of course, the mirror Phantom Zone comes down and gets them, and this time you just see them kind of standing there at Phantom Zone, and I like when it goes into the Phantom Zone, though, where you see them in the Phantom, and they're hearing like these screams, and I'm like, oh, that sounds terrifying. I wanted a bit more in the Phantom Zone with them, you know, but that, I guess that's what the only footage Donner could get at the time, but I would have liked to see more if they would have, you know, just made Superman the movie, direct Superman 2. I would have liked to see more of the Phantom Zone and how terrifying that was, you know, for them, a bit more than that. That was interesting, and then, of course, Baby Killer, ships flying, Krypton blowing up, you know, we see that. And then, of course, we see where Superman, of course, is weakened by kryptonite by Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's plan to destroy the West Coast, to have real estate to make money by killing millions of people to do it. And where, of course, we see the scene again with the kryptonite, him being thrown in the pool, Miss Tess Mercury giving him a kiss and saving him, flying up. And when he grabs the first one that he grabbed, which I do think, the editing in this film is fine. Some of it I think looks bad. This looked decent at first, but I prefer the Superman movie. I think that was definitely shot better for 78, in my opinion. But even though this is remastered, you know, redone footage, you know, Superman grabs the rocket, flies it up there, and of course it goes in space. It turns off, or the rocket just kind of stops. It flows in space. Then it comes to the mirror Phantom Zone and breaks it. And, you know, it's effective. You know, I'm like, I have to say this, I'm sorry. I know this is 2006, but these effects do not look very good in space. Space does not look very good in this movie at the time. I'm sorry. Space, it looks fake. It just does not look very good in my opinion. Michael Thal, again, I don't think you did a good job with editing and putting effects in here, man. He's an editor. He can, he's an editor, not a special effects artist, but special effects guys who did this, I just don't think it holds up very well. And the blue screen, it looks fake. And then all of a sudden he's up. Dad, I'm doing a video. And then Zod yelling, "Free!" Yelling free. I'm like, I thought that was too over the top. Sorry about that, my dad was interrupting, sorry about that. I thought that was showing, it's like Darth Vader in Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith yelling, no, it's just, like, releasing free. I like it better than the original version, and again, I'm disappointed with the opening. I mean, it is cool to see Krypton and all that stuff again, see some of those scenes again from Superman the movie, that was cool. But what I liked about this opening is in Superman 2, I like the opening better. I like that Superman is fighting these terrorists, well, they're threatening the bomb in Paris, nice different location, crashes in him saving Lois Lane and him throwing the bomb. I prefer that even better. And then it has really good effects in Superman 2 in space. In space, it really looks better than in here, in my opinion. Where, you know, Zaza's saying free, and they're just flying. They're just getting, and they're not falling, they're flying. They're not going to fall from space. As soon as they open the Phantom Zone cracks, which it did, they have powers already. They can fly in space. You know, they don't, you know, and then just, you know, seeing the moon and flying there, that's fine, you know. I didn't need to have over-the-top free yell, you know. And this goes back and forth, well, where Lois, you know, they're at the Daily Planet, they're talking about what happened. This is just right after Superman the movie, probably like a day after, where, you know, it's like, where was Clark? You know, Clark wasn't nowhere, and discussing that. And she sees Clark, she's in the newspaper, and Lois is like, just look at her face, she kind of looks like she's going crazy, but she, you know, tries to write down the picture, you know, the glasses of Superman, yeah, Clark, give a picture of Clark Kent, Superman in the newspaper, and she tries to write down scratches down that, and she says super around Clark and all that stuff, and she says, Superman, you know, Clark, you're Superman, aren't you Superman, aren't you? He's like, oh, you think I'm Superman? No, I'm not, Lois. You're just imagining things. I'm not. And she's like, I'm willing to bail off my life on it. Now, this is where I thought it was stupid. This was really stupid to me. Where Lois jumps out the window, I'm like, she looks like a psycho here, okay? She looks like she lost her damn mind, jumping out of the window. Of course, Superman, Clark, you know, has super speed. He's able to use super breath, use heat vision to open up a side area of the building, you know, and she lands on the pouch side of the building, and Lazar's like, Clark, he's like, yes, you know, and she passes out, and some guy comes in and was like, hey Ken, have you seen Lane? Well, have you seen Lois? He's like, well, she just wanted to step out, which I thought that was funny, but also I didn't like that scene of her doing that. I'm like, really? That wasn't fun. That wasn't funny. Tom Mendes in the commentary said that was fun. I disagree. I didn't find that funny. I thought that was stupid, reckless, and it makes Lois look like a psycho. And yeah, it was just stupid, you know. And then we get to of course, the scene where Lex is in jail, talking about breaking out his little black box. It only seems like you have action there when he's like, you know, when I find Superman's home, you know, it'll show him, then I'll know his secret, you know, and then we'll get his revenge. And then there's an extra scene of him and, you know, saying that a guy's a bedwetter, and, you know, so we have a pee joke here, which I didn't find funny. You know, Otis is like, hey, this guy's a bedwetter, and the guy's like sitting next to him, and I was like, oh, I thought that was just a weird scene, like, really? And then, of course, you do get to the point where the villains go to the Rosada Mercer Moon, or end up on the moon. They end up on the moon, and of course they kill the three guys again. Ursa, you know, grabs the guy and says the same thing. Like, what kind of creature are you? He's like, just a man. A man? And then she kills him, and then, you know, thing with the line where Zara lets go and kills the guy. He's like, fragile life this is, you know. And on crushing the guy in the astronaut tanker, you know, crushing it, killing him. And this, fascinating, where Perry White also tells us, like, you're going to go to commit, you know, prove a honeymoon bracket or something like that they have to go to for a report. Oops, sorry, something popped up. But what I was disappointed with is that in the original version of Superman 2, instead of Lois acting like a psycho jumping out the window, it's where, her and Clark have a talk, and she's like, Clark, is there no sense of jealousy? And I told her, like, Clark, don't be jealous. You got so much going for you. And then the funny scene with the orange juice. That was funny. I like that scene, That shows a genuine love, somewhat, that he has for her. That Clark likes her, has been in love with her. He wants to show more, but But this, here, it just felt forced doing that. I'm like, Bob and Zion and them were out on Earth. They see the snake again. And again, I wish they would start. The comedy is not here. The film does take itself seriously. This film does. And I do miss the comedy in this film. Because I thought it was funny. Seeing Non grab the snake and trying to. And even in here, we don't have Zod making his baby noises like when they, like that. That noises he makes. I can't do it right, but the Jekyll Helen made us Non. You do that here, like with grabbing the siren, and wanting to buy it. I'm like, that was funny. You do have them running to the Clifton James, the cops again, but of course they take out the seriousness, so they just cut away from stuff in this version. And I kind of just missed that, but it was cool seeing some of the original stuff again from Superman 2, from the original version of Superman 2 into the Donner cut. But I was just disappointed that they took it out. We missed them attacking people, and I missed that scene from here because after they come to the town, they attack people trying to fight with them, and then they start attacking and destroying the town, and you do see them fight the military again, which was the same from the original version of Superman 2, which was cool. It's like they just kind of skipped through them taking over the town, They skipped through that scene to where the media shows up. Superman once again saves, we don't see Superman in this film until, the little boy falls from Niagara Falls, which still looks great. And and the music, I just feel like it wasn't right in the scene. Like, in the original version, when Superman 2 saves the boy, the music is very well and good. But when we're doing the Richard Donner cut, it's like the music score, it just faded. I'm like, really? And then, where Lois, it was like, no, you don't show up, where she's like, wait a minute, Clark isn't here, and Superman shows up, and she's like, I don't like that scene. And then the scene in the original version of Superman 2, where she finally finds out that he is Superman, she tells that he is, and she proves a lot to him by jumping down her phone. Now, people say that's crazy, but that was actually a funny scene, even though she ends up okay. It's just funny to see Clark saying, oh my god, And then using his heat vision, which was cool. And then jumping out, it was a funny scene. He was funny. It didn't make Lois like a psycho. It just made like she lost her mind still, but still, it's in a funny way. It's not in a stupid way like Richard Donner cut was, with her jumping out the window. I prefer her jumping into the water, the current water. And, that was funny. With Clark falling in, I'm like, and she's like, you thought that was Superman? He's like, sorry. See, I wanted some humor. That I like that humor. But instead in here, Lois, and of course, we see them break out of jail again, but there was more scenes added where I thought this was funny. Though, I mean, this does have some humor in it, which are kind of, they go like, it's like, shh, no, shh, no, that was funny, I thought. And when Luthor goes to the Fortress of Solitude, there's a talk between him and, a little more talk between him and, this chess partner about her wearing a bikini. He's like, did you think about that? He's like, no, I don't think about that. That was funny. No, Lex, go with this way. He's like, oh, that way. This chess marker. And they talk to the hologram of Jor-El. It was cool to see Brando again. It was great to see Marlon Brando. Sorry, I can picture this logo right here. It was cool to see Marlon Brando here once again. But him talking about trees, I'm like, I didn't care about the tree talk. That was funny in Superman. The original Superman 2 with just the guy. But I do miss the Mother Lore. I know he the one that trained Kal-El and sent him to Earth. Well, it wasn't just Kal-El. It wasn't Jor-El just sent him. It was the mother that sent him. It was Jor-El and Mora, that sent him to Earth. She gave him the blankets to go to Earth. Because we do see, when Jor-El, when the baby's going through on the planet, when he's in the missile. I mean, not in the missile. When he's in the Kryptonian spaceship, when he's saying, "Your mother gave you the blanket," it's like, and to take care of you. And then we see him break out of it, as a baby. That was cool to see again. But Jor-El talks to them about General Zod stuff, which I liked, and that he actually shows them, and really good effect of him, of his face close up. It was cool to see Brando again. But my only issue with Brando here is in Superman 2, him just, after Superman the movie, him just being a jerk, you know what? It was cool to see Superman 2, it was cool to see Brando again, I'm sorry if I said that, but I didn't miss him in here, to be honest, because he was being a jerk behind the scenes, Because they paid him his money, they paid him good money to be in Superman the movie. In Superman 2, he was demanding more money. He was just being I thought Brando was just being a dick. To be honest, he's being a dick. He's being a jerk, If you're going to be a jerk like that, I don't care if you're one of the greatest actors of all time. If you're going to be a jerk, then I will see you in a movie, for being a jerk, just behind the scenes of Superman 2. And I liked seeing them with the Lord. That was interesting. That was cool. We already seen Superman the movie. I already felt like there was a good father and son bond between them already. Like I'm talking about the extended version of Superman the movie when he says, "How proud of Kal-El." He's like, "If this moment I could embrace you," and then he went home. And that to me was a good father-demon moment between them, father-son bonding moment. That was a great moment in Superman the movie. And then him just being upset because he couldn't even hug his father. That was great. I thought that was a good talk between them, and I felt it was always there. I didn't really need to see it because I already know it's there between Jor-El and Kal-El. You can always tell there's a good father-son relationship. So I'm just saying it was better, I think, to see the mother instead. Because a mother is an important parent too, just as the father is, and half the time a child would rather talk to the mother or think of talking to their mother instead of their father. Because the mother could be more understanding, I think, than a father can be. When they are done talking to the first intelligence, when they're done talking about General Zod, it was cool to see the images of them, but then Mr. Testmarker using the bathroom, we're like, okay, another P joke, I'm like, really? Okay, but after that, later in their suite, Lois decides to prove again that Clark is Superman. She's like, "You're Superman, not because you're the competition the whole time." And this is a screen test. This was a screen test, you can tell, because Christopher Reeve's hair was like bushy a bit, and then it's like really just short, and the glasses are like shorter, and then the glasses are big, so it was just weird. Kind of. It was a screen test. It does tell you that at the beginning of this movie. There's some screen testing in the film. And I'm like, and Tom Hanks, I disagree against saying that this was fun, but Lois is like, "I'm going to prove, not my life, but your life first." So she pulls a gun out. He's like, "Lois, what are you doing?" And then, pow, she shoots. He's like, takes the glasses off. That could have been Clark Kent if you were wrong. He could have been dead. And blanks, sorry. And the last, I was like, I did not like that scene. Okay, I did not like that scene. Honestly, I didn't like that. What was my issue with it? Well, first of all, Lois looks like a psycho again. She looks like she's lost her mind by pointing a gun at him and shooting him with a blank. That's not fun. That's sadistic. That's not a genuine love scene between somebody. That seems like she's just forcing him to prove that he's Superman. That's kind of a forced love, if they ask me. In Superman 2, the original version, when she was mad because she jumped in the water in the Niagara Falls Lake, and you thought Superman's like, "I'm sorry," and then she's upset about it. And she's like, "I made a fool out of myself," and where he drops it, and instead he does it with his heart, and he takes his glasses off. He's like, I thought that scene in Superman 2, the original version, was better done. Much better done, in my opinion. That Clark was finally able to prove to Lois that he was Superman. He showed it because it was out of heart. And Lois didn't force it. Lois was really upset. you know. And then, you know, when he reveals secret, she's like, I'm in love with you. He's like, well, we need to talk. We need to change. And that was a funny, that was just a great moment between the two. And in the Donner Cut, I didn't like that scene of them shooting each other, okay? That's not showing love from the horror. That's not showing love at all. That's just sadistic. That Tom Maintenance, I'm sorry, but that's not fun or funny. That's kind of sadistic, you know. And using a blank, yeah, that like, really. But soon the Krypton, you know, Zod, Ursa, and Nun, after they take over the town, they come after the White House. They attack more people. We have a bit more of action in here. Where you see that, you know, we get to see more of Ursa's face this time when she's about, this guy's like this, and she's looking at him, and then he looks over, like, she's not going to harm him, but instead she just kicks him, and then you have Zod picking up the machine gun, and he shoots like two guys, like, I was like, I like seeing that sadistic more side of Zod, just willing to use their machine gun against them. And then, of course, he gets them to bow down. And I do like it when Ursula walks up to the men, like, the men that put these outfits, you know, the colors, you know, and takes it off. And like, wow, it just shows the more sadistic sides of them. Then, of course, they see Lex Luthor again, and, you know, he shows up at the White House, you know, where he can give them Superman so they can get revenge on the son of Jor-El, their jailer, or son of Jor-El, so that they can get revenge on Superman. You know. Superman and Lois goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and another issue I have is they do this, but he still has his powers. Superman still has his powers. Clark has not given up his powers yet. In the original version of Superman 2, he gave up his powers, and then made love to Lois. But in the Richard Donner cut, he makes love to her as he's Superman, and he still has powers. I'm like, what, really? Couldn't he kill her by doing that? Because if Superman got too excited there, he has powers, super strength. Can he crush her in the bed? You know, I mean, Superman really can't do this. You know, with a normal female human being. You know, I'm like, yeah, I do have an issue with that. And then, of course, you know, him talking to Jor-El, and he's like, "Come on, why do you want to do this? I wish you would not want to do this, my son. You should think about this." He's like, "You've done so good for humanity. You've saved our lives. You're a hero." Well, he didn't say that, but, you know, you've done so good for... He's like, you know... And then, I thought Superman kind of sounded like an asshole. I thought he sounded like an asshole in this movie by saying to Jor-El, "Oh, haven't I done enough for a minute? Haven't I done enough? Haven't I given enough? Haven't I done that? Can I have my own happiness?" I'm like, selfish to just get what I want? I'm like, yeah, they made Kalos. This makes Superman sound selfish. It really does. This movie makes Superman sound selfish. And this why I think, again, it's better than the Superman original version, similar to the Lester cut. The original version, I think this thing is done better. Because, like I said, sometimes a child would rather talk to their mother because the mother was more understanding in here than Jor-El was. And Jor-El, of course, was being a bit of an uptight father here, was not understanding and listening. And Superman was sounding selfish, but here, it's like he's speaking from the heart. In this version, when he wants to get rid of his powers, saying, I'm going to... And here, I'm just saying, in here, he sounds selfish, very selfish. But in here, he sounds like he's sounding from the heart, from love, you know, that he loves Lois, and, you know, this is after they have dinner, you know. And, you know, when they talk about him being Clark Kent, talk about that a bit. And he's talking about how happy he's been for the first time in a long time. And also in the Superman 2, I like how he tells Lois his secret, you know, how he kind of became Superman, you know, about the crystal. And we don't see the green crystal in here in the Rich Donner cut, by the way. But again, I like the scene where he's talking to his mother. He's like, "Mother, I've never been sure about anything before." He's like, "Mother, I love her," you know. It was just more, in this version, him speaking from the heart, you know. And we see more of, you know, when he goes into the chamber of the Red Sun, you see him lose the power becoming Superman, like we see the skeleton face, just like Superman and Clark Kent just, you know, separating. And here, yeah, you just get him in the Red Sun chamber, and he's just, it's still going to hurt to watch, but Superman 2, the original version, I thought was better. Done. And of course, and they make love after he gives his powers up. And in this one, they, of course, should mention the original cut. After that, they go to the bar. Of course, the guy that beats him up, kind of the same scene there. And then they find, Clark is like, well, finds out that Sal's taken over, he's got to go back. The same scene in the bar, like I mentioned in my Superman 2 review, that's the same there. And that was nice to see again. Where Kal-El is not going to use his powers. And there's also a scene in Jor-El where, in the original version of Superman 2, where he's watching, his head is, where he's watching Kal-El lose his powers, and he looks at Lois, like, really? You made my son do this, and Lois just kind of backing up there. But after all that, after he says, come to me, son of Jor-El, come live for Zod! After that, he goes back, of course, when he tells us he has to go back, he goes back to the Fortress of Solitude. Now, I know some people have a problem with that in the original version of Superman 2, which, I like it better here, in Superman 2, the original version, where he's just saying, Father! It was like, I fell, Father. I fell. It felt like the emotion was stronger in this movie. And then when he saw the crystal, he picked it up. He picked up the crystal and wanted to see Superman. Again, I was fine with that. I'm fine with that. To me, like I said, it was a mystery. And I'd rather leave it as a mystery as to him being Superman again. I didn't need to see how he became Superman again. All I need to see is the crystal and him become Superman in the next scene. I'm fine with that. I was fine with it. I didn't need to see it all over again. Sometimes, like I say, sometimes you don't need an explanation for every single thing in a movie. Sometimes, to me, I was just fine the way it is. But in this version, his father talks to him, was like, my son, you feel, you get your powers back, okay. But what I didn't, it was good to hear from Brando once again, he's good in here. But what I didn't like was him saying, this is the last time my son that will be speaking. I'm like, no, I doubt that, because I think Superman would always talk to Jor-El, or, not just Jor-El, but Laura as well, his mother, or any other members of Krypton that could teach him something about Earth, or a council, But I'm like, no, I can always see Superman talking to his father, But I guess, for a reason, it wouldn't be his last time talking to him. And for Jor-El's last act, which was great, him dying again, touching his my son, was giving his powers back. And that was sad, not to see his son again. Even though I do like it more in Superman, the movie where they're talking that I could embrace you. That was good to see all met. But the problem with the scene is, this was when Christopher Reeve did not develop the character of Superman a bit more out, because they were shooting back. This was, again, back to back when they were shooting Superman, the movie Superman 2, where that thing was a bit off, but he said, Father! I just thought it here was pretty lame how they did it. And the emotion I don't think was strong enough. From Brando it was. Just not from Christopher Reeve. No, I love Christopher Reeve Superman, okay? That's just how I thought about it. Then, him touching him, and I don't know, he's got, the shakes or something, like, honestly, like he's having a seizure or something. I'm not trying to make fun of that, but him having a boogie woogie dance or something. Doing that, I'm like, what? I laughed at that. I'm sorry, I laughed at that, him passing out. I'm like, what the heck? Did he just give him a heart attack or something? He gave him his powers back, but that scene was just too over the top. Again, just him picking up the crystal in the original version of him being father, I just thought that was better done. But what was good in the Richard Donner cut, I will admit, what was good about it was seeing Donner, was seeing that, him saying goodbye to his son finally, and that was sad, for Jor-El to say goodbye to his son, his last time, and then giving him his powers back. Which, you want to make him awesome, don't do the whole shaking thing. Just have him become Superman again. Just have the S come in the suit and him flying off. I think that would have been better done than him, And that scene I think could have been done better, but that's just my opinion. And then of course we still get the good scene of them breaking on the Daily Planet. The other thing, Lois in the original Superman 2 version where she tells Jimmy and Clark and she's very worried. She's like, he'll be here, alright? She's just frustrated. Here, she doesn't sound frustrated at all. Lois is like, he'll be here, alright? She just doesn't feel frustrated or even worried. I'm like, really? I feel like we just didn't see no emotion in her in that scene. But when Zod, Ursa and None break in and None's breaking the window, but hit him, it's still cool seeing him do that. And then, it's funny when Mr. White tries to throw an object, or just throw a piece of an object at Zod's head of the Daily Planet, object of that, and him picking him up, and then Lois trying to punch Ursa again, which it doesn't work, and then she's like, you can use your work, sister. And this is where Superman shows up. Now, in Superman 2, the original version, we get that awesome line where he flies and he's like, at the one is like, General, would you care to step outside? General, would you care to step outside? And here, his voice is dubbed over. He's like, it doesn't sound like Christopher. He's like, General, have you ever heard of General? Have you ever heard of freedom of the press? I'm like, but the thing that was so lame about it, it doesn't sound like Christopher Reeve. It doesn't. It's dubbed over, and I had an issue with that. I'm like, really? We have an awesome line in Superman 2 version saying, General, would you care to step outside? To this version of him saying, with a dubbed voice saying, General, have you ever heard of freedom of the press? I'm like, I didn't think that was an awesome line, I'm sorry. And then he said, I'm no coward, Zod, and Zod saying, like father, like son. And this is when they start to fight, when he shows, he's like, die, you deserve to. He's like, I'm no coward, Zod. It was dubbed over again. Twice in that scene, and but when they start fighting, again, some of the effects were bad, I thought. When Zod kicks him and Superman's like this, I thought that effect does not hold up well in my opinion. And he kicks him to the Statue of Liberty. Like, really? This is Metropolis, right? Not New York City. Metropolis should not have the Statue of Liberty in it. You have an issue with that because this is Metropolis, not New York City. I don't think you needed that shot, Donner. I'm sorry. And then when he punches, I do like it though when she sneaks up behind him. Ursa's like, you can't hit a woman, can you? I like that scene. But then when he punches None, again, very lamely done. I thought that was better when Ursa sneaks up and Superman grabs him, and it was not None that grabs him, and then she grabs the pipe, and then she hits None with a pipe. Because Superman moves down, and I thought that was just a better shot. All of Superman 2 was a better shot more than this, and then some of the other effects of them flying just does not age well, in my opinion. Some of it is good, but some of it just does not age well. And even the original Superman 2 version, some of the comedy is a bit silly, some of the effects don't hold up, but they're not bad. Some of them I think are bad, and they were darn correct, but not like the worst I've ever seen before. But still, I just didn't care for it. And they fight them, with the bus and stuff, and almost killing the people, And then it was cool to see when they got the bus door to Superman and Superman breaking, you see the ass that he's breaking down. That was cool to see. And then him flying away again. And then they decided to go to Force of Solitude to finally kill Superman. That was their plan. And Lex takes them there and he's like, you better not be lying to me. Lex Luthor. But better not be wasting my time. But this time they don't get into a fight, like in the original version. Okay, yeah, I didn't like the whole thing with that paper S being thrown out of his chest. That was lame. But I do like the whole powers of them using a beam, which I thought was cool. I like that. That was cool. And Superman fighting back, and then him using the holograms to defeat them. That was smart, and that was cool. But I like that General Zod said, I can sense the presence of Jor-El here, Instead they just, and here, no, we don't get no fight action. We just get talking. Of Lex Luthor betraying Superman again, but this time Superman knew he was going to attack him, except Zod was keeping holding Superman back and throws him back. He's like, no, you're going to get in that chamber. And of course, Superman does get in the chamber, grabs Zod's hand and squeezes it once again and kills him. And, you're a real pain in the neck. And then another scene I didn't like, though, was where after that, sorry. And one thing I didn't like when Superman was it was nice to see them kiss. It was like, I know we're just gonna go back to normal against the way of things, and they share a kiss. That was a good scene. But what I didn't like is that Superman destroys the Force of Solitude, which I didn't like that. He uses heat vision. I hated that. Why does he destroy the Force? The Force of Solitude, that is another home for Superman. He doesn't need to destroy it. Why do you need to destroy it? There's other Kryptonians you can talk to, And, if he needs a place to go home, okay, it doesn't make sense that he destroys it, because in Superman 4, we see it again, and then Superman Returns, which is a sequel to, to Superman the movie, and this, Superman Returns, where he is in, is in the Force of Solitude. So I don't know, it was just a case of Bryan Singer was going off of that. I know this came out before, but I'm like, this is what he's saying, it's to see one of those films, and I'm like, what's the point of destroying the Force of Solitude? What's the point of it? That is a place where Superman can go to think, go to, when he's got problems or when he's having an issue, he goes to think there. It's like a second home for him. It feels like because it feels like a place where he can relax and think, Force of Solitude is a place where he can relax, or talk. Sometimes it doesn't have to be Jerome he's talking to. It can be other members, other councils of Kryptonians, or it could be his mother. Yeah. But I don't think Superman needed to destroy the Force of Solitude. I didn't like that. And of course, Superman has to continue serving humanity. Well, continue being a hero and continuing his destiny of being Superman. And Lois is upset about it first because she does break down about it and is worried about him. He's like, I won't meet you no more, and I like that, saying and flying away. And then her saying up and away. I don't think Lois needs to say that. And the reason I Superman too, I just like that he takes her home, that she's upset. It didn't say up and away. I prefer not that. That was a bit too silly for me. I prefer just looking. So she didn't need to say nothing. You can tell how upset she was by the look on her face. And Superman knows that she would keep a secret. And I guess you say Superman knows that life as slow as can be, which is not true. And I have a real big issue, a big gripe with this. Now, in Superman the movie, at the end, Superman does turn back time to save Lois, which I didn't like him doing that at first, but Superman the movie, I let him get away with it because I wanted him to save Lois. It was sad to see Lois die in Superman the movie, and I wanted him to save her, even though it is forbidden, and it still is forbidden for him to do that. He got a get out of jail free card for doing that. In Superman the movie, I love him, but here in Superman 2, him flying around the Earth again. Gosh. It made me sick thinking about it. It really does. I'm just kidding. But I have a big issue with this. The Superman in the movie, I'll give him the slip. I'll let him get away with it this time. But him turning around time again, and then of course Zod and Nurse and on going back into the Phantom Zone, I'm like, and then him changing time around all over again. I hated that. In the first movie, I'm okay with it. But here, no. I don't like Superman changing time again. It's stupid. Superman can't do that, folks. He is not God. He can't play God. Sometimes what happens is sometimes it is what happens. Sometimes you can't change things. I don't care if Superman can do that. He can't do that. Sometimes he just has to accept what is, you know. You know. And Superman 2, the original version, it was better done. You know, Tom Mann said that Clark Kent would never kiss Superman. Well, first of all, I disagree with that, because it wasn't Clark Kent Superman. It wasn't Clark Kent kiss Superman. It wasn't Clark Kent kissing Lois Lane. It was Superman. When he came into Lois's office, he was himself. He was Superman. That's who he really is. Clark Kent is the disguise. You know, and when him and Lois are talking, she's expressing how she feels about him, of how her feelings are for him, and that she's selfish sometimes when it comes to him, and that, you know, that she worries about him never coming back. And he didn't do it because of that wife for Lois. He did it because of how she can't deal with it, of how she doesn't have a hard time dealing with it. He did it for her sake, not just for his, but for hers. Because he didn't want her to be stressed out and, you know, worried about her, how she would feel upset about not having her to himself. It was just too stressful on her. So in Superman 2, the original version, that's why he gave her the magic kiss. It's silly, but he does it for her, so she can be okay, you know. He was willing to give up on love just so she'd be okay. And here, doing that, you know, doing the flying in space around, it's like, it makes me cringe in this movie. Like, really? So Superman can do that anytime he wants. Anytime there's something bad really happens, he can just fly around the earth. Oh, building blow up, fly around the earth. Oh, people die, fly around the earth. Oh, look. Superman can't play God. With all his powers, he can't save everyone. Superman can't play God. He can't fix the world's problems. You know, he shouldn't do that. He should have gotten in trouble in this movie for doing that. It is forbidden for Superman to do that, and for good reason, because he can't play God. He's here to help humanity, help protect humanity, not play God. You know, like in Smallville when Chloe was asking Clark to go back in time to save Jimmy, who was killed by Doomsday, or David Bloom, who was Doomsday anyway, was separated from Black Kryptonite. But anyway, when David Bloom killed Jimmy, when she had Clark to go back, Clark made a good point by saying, "No, I can't do that. I'm not a god." You know, and made a good point, you know, to Chloe about that. And just Superman doing that, I have an issue with it. So again, I don't like him changing it. I thought that was stupid. I prefer the original ending to here to be better. Yeah. And of course, Clark, you know, goes back to, you know, the Daily Planet. Lois saying she can't remember her story, and she says, "Clark, you're nice too. Don't be jealous about Superman. Well, we get some pizza." I was like, "Lois, I'll pay for the pizza." I was like, "Clark, you're no super, you know." Like, I do think that was funny. And then, of course, that's the ending. Oh, and then, of course, he goes to pick up the fight with the guy, and, of course, can't hurt him. The guy punches him. He throws Rocky over the table. You know, slides me over the table, and he's like, "Oh, I've been working out." And, you know, sitting there flying and smiling at it. And it was good to hear the John Williams score once again. Alright, well that's Superman 2, the original Dark Cut. And a lot of it is some of the same scenes from Superman 2, the original version, but Superman 2, the original Dark Cut, hold on, let me get my final opinion on the movie. I know I'm probably dislikes and I don't care. Again, folks, it's my opinion, so just take it for what it is. I want to make it clear that I don't hate Superman 2, the original Dark Cut. I just think it's okay. I don't mind it. But I'm sorry, I don't think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, first of all, what do I like? I like the cast once again. Christopher Reeve. Seymour Brando once again was great. It's cool to see some different stuff in here. I do like seeing some of the scenes like the beginning. Krypton again with Jor-El, that was good. It's good to see more Brando too. It was awesome to see more Brando. So I'm not complaining about it. It's just great to see him. I'm just saying, you know, behind the scenes of Superman 2, the movie, he was just being a jerk and suing them. So I thought Brando was just being a jerk, you know. But I was fine with seeing the brother too. But and the movie does have good action scenes, but some of the action scenes don't hold up. Some of the shots, they don't even The editing by Michael Thal, I just did not like some of the editing in here. Some of the effects I don't think were very good in this movie, but let's see. Don Rickles still does a great job directing the movie, although I have my issues. And I felt like I just feel like this needs more work, in my opinion. Some of those scenes, it just needs more work. That's all I can say. It needs more work. Again, Christopher Reeve still does a great job. Some of the acting was a bit stiff toward that ending, but still he's great nonetheless. And some of the new action was there, like I said, was shooting that machine gun, that was cool. And some of the action is still great, And some of the scenes, that we see from Superman 2, the original version, that are in here, is great to see once again. And sometimes the humor when it's there, it's funny. Because remember, like I said, Donner did film 75% of this movie. Well, some of the scenes at 75% are his, the rest of his lesser for the comedy. But the problem with the Donner cut is, well, it's not that long, it's not about 2 hours. It goes by, I thought, a really good pace. Yeah. And the music by John Williams, still great. I can't complain about that. Cinematography is very nice in here. I love the cinematography. But I just don't like things I don't like right away. Okay. Lois acting like a psycho and jumping out of a window and shooting out of Clark. I just felt like there was no heart in that scene. There was no love between them in that scene. That was just a sadistic scene. It wasn't about love. It was crazy, I thought, when Zod yelling free in space and then getting out of space to the Phantom Zone. I didn't like that. I prefer this than the original Superman 2, like I said, with the Paris and the terrorist and Superman throwing the bomb into space. I thought that was better done. And them just getting out of the Phantom Zone and flying and not saying free, which I thought was just, it's too over the top, in my opinion. I didn't like that. And I do like the fight scene, in Metropolis, the Battle of the Titans, basically. But I just didn't like, the punch of Superman landing on the Statue of Liberty. I thought the editing there was terrible and was not good. And so was the editing of, Superman punching Nunn. I thought that was just really bad, really very silly. And just, the scene where he's saying father in this version I thought was bad. Its acting was very stiff and off, And I mean no disrespect to Christopher Reeve, because hey, I love Superman the movie and Superman 2, and even Superman 3. So Christopher Reeve always knew Superman. I know that these scenes were shot, a little earlier, but just the whole thing with, him touching him to give his powers back, when Jor touched him to give him his powers back, and him going, and shaking, I thought that was just, and when he danced, it was just really silly and ridiculous. I'm like, really? And some more Tom Mann says I don't agree with. Yeah, I still hate that ending. The only thing I really hate about the movie is the ending, where Superman flying with everything. I don't like that. Superman shouldn't do that again. I hated that. I'm like, why did y'all want to do that? That was stupid. I think it's lame. I'm sorry. Superman is not God. He can't play God, and he can't be doing that. Things happen, and you cannot control all the time. By even changing time in this movie, he could have made things worse. Yeah, you brought the villains back to life. Zod knows or not, what if they came back to Earth and things happened differently, and they killed everybody in Metropolis in the movie? If he would have been able to continue. But despite that, though, there were some entertaining scenes about this. There's some comedy in here that I like. Some of the comedy is missing, but when the comedy is there and the rest of it, it's good. And some of it is entertaining. Like I said, some of the action is very entertaining. Some of the comedy is entertaining at times. Just some of it just doesn't work for me. Yeah. With Lois pointing to go out for it, I'm like, that didn't work. I just think this original version is better because it showed the love between a bit more genuine. Is between Chloe Lois and this, and her, with him falling in the fireplace and taking off his glasses. That was a very genuine scene that he did out of his heart, and talking to his mother about, being Superman, about giving up his powers, but he was speaking from the heart in this movie. But in this movie, he's sounding selfish, saying, haven't I done enough for him, and haven't I done enough? I'm like, I thought that was selfish for him to say that, but that's just my opinion. I thought that was very selfish. I'm like, really? Superman wouldn't say that. Superman wouldn't say, I would have done enough, or it's about me. He does sound selfish in the movie, but he does, in Destroy the Forces Altitude, I'm like, no, I don't like that. And him changing the Earth I'm like, I don't like that. I just don't like the way they handle Superman himself in the movie. This is not my Superman. My Superman would not destroy the Fortress of Solitude. My Superman would speak from the heart and not speak with his mind and say basically, oh, I'm like, and my Superman does not go fly around the earth, and change time. I'm like, that's not my Superman. Yeah. This is my Superman. This version is my Superman. My Superman too. So I think this is better than this. In my opinion, it's my opinion. You can leave me negative comments all you want. You can say, you misunderstand, you don't know nothing, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to block and delete you. It's my video, my channel, my opinion. If you don't like it, leave. But this, to me, is my version of Superman 2. I prefer this version. To me, this version is the real Superman 2. Oh, I know, blasphemy. I just blasphemed, yes. I know. And people probably are pissed at me. I don't care. This is my opinion, but if you love the Richard Donner cut, then my opinion, my view of this should not change your opinion. Just because I think this is okay, and I'm not the biggest fan of this, doesn't mean you have to be. Doesn't mean you have to agree with me. I just see things differently, people. Yeah, I wear glasses. So what? But I see things differently. My opinion is different from other people. I'm different. Everyone has a different opinion, folks. You have to learn to accept that, Some people still like certain movies, or any certain movies, and you can't get mad about it. It's opinions. Opinions are opinions. Our opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. This is my opinion on Submission to the Richard Donner cut. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Do you love Superman to the Richard Donner cut? Do I think this is a little overrated? Overrated? Well, not completely, but I do think it's a little overrated, in my opinion. Just a little. But some of this I do get enjoyment out of. I just don't think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I prefer Superman the movie over this to be better. But that's just my opinion, and Superman to the original version. But that's just my opinion, folks. But guys, let me know, again, okay, in my opinion, my rating for this film, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars, and then kind of a mixed bag. Okay, I'll give it a little slightly thumbs up. I'll still give it a little slightly thumbs up, because it still has some good things about it, but just the problems for me bring it down, for me, my issues I have with it, too many issues I have with it. But overall, Superman 2 Richard Donner cut, an okay film at best. It's an okay film at best. I understand why fans wanted it. I completely understand. But me, I could have done without it. I mean, I love Superman 2, the original version, for what it is. And I do think it sucks that they fired Donner, but hey, we can't change the past, But I think this could be better, though, if they would restore it again and just add some more better scenes in there, I just think it needs work. But that's just my opinion, folks. And let me know, what do you think of Superman 2 the Richard Donner cut? If you disagree with me, that's fine. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Don't leave me any hate comments, don't call me an asshole, don't call me names. Just like the video, I don't care, It's my video, my opinion. I don't care what people think or say. But if you disagree with me, you tell me. I care about that. If you disagree with me, let's talk. Let's have a conversation like human beings, like grown-ups. Don't act childish in the comments. I remove those comments, by the way. But let me know, which version do you prefer? I prefer Superman to the original version. Do you prefer this version? Do you prefer this version or this one? Which one do you prefer? Superman to the original version or the Richard Donner cut? Do you prefer this over this, or do you prefer this over this? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear your opinion, folks. Tell me. And don't be afraid to, And thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next review, my next Superman review, which may be tomorrow, I don't know. But next, hopefully tomorrow I can try to review this. Maybe. And next I'll be reading The Underrated Sequel, which I've always liked this movie. It came out in 1983. And I grew up with this film. I watched it a couple of VHS a couple of good times when I was a kid, and that is Superman 3. Which go check out my friend's channel, John Avenger. He just did a live commentary on this, which I share on my Facebook, by the way. Yeah, so definitely go check out his commentary, and definitely look forward to my review for Superman 3, y'all, which will be next. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me what you thought of Superman 2 the Richard Donner cut, in your opinion. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.